she sunk a very important putt on the second try, which could
The
have,
second take.
which when the sun was going down, and it could have completely it could have gotten dark, and we could have
It could have
not done it.
derailed the whole thing because that was like the day that there was the most like
Ruined the whole movie.
well, I mean, literally the whole movie would have been over.
How's everyone doing?
Great, how are
Excellent.
you
How
doing?
Oh,
Doing good.
Cool
Yeah, you have
stuff.
some cool things in
Look
there.
at that. What is that?
I don't know what you're pointing at.
Pointing at-
Venom, Carnage, Nova. I got Star Wars behind me.
Love it.
Sick. Love it, man.
Very cool. Very cool. I take it you're into comic books too.
Yes, yes, I am. Well, I'm Russ Milheim from The Direct. Thank you guys for talking to me today about the movie. And congratulations, first and foremost, on pulling it off and getting it out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Now, I just wanted to start with a broad question, and just in your own words, help paint a picture about how this story kind of tells a timely and important tale for audiences.
Absolutely. You know, when I boil this movie down, it's really about protecting your home and your identity in a very quickly changing world. And it feels almost more poignant now than when Drew was writing it. And I think sometimes you get lucky with what's going on in the world, and a movie can speak to what's going on in the culture at the time. And sometimes you don't get that lucky, but I think we got really lucky. But ultimately, yeah, that's what I zeroed in on every day when I was in my car driving to work was this is a family and they're trying to protect what they love.
Yes. And community. It's about community. Banding together to protect, your family.
And we can say all the things like it's an underdog sports story. I call it a Save the Rec Center movie, all these things. But yeah, ultimately you want an audience. I always want the audience. I talk about a piece of string, like a tether between the audience and these characters. And I never want it to go slack or break. I want you to be locked in and connected to these people.
You kind of mentioned kind of the underdog sports, story, but like another important part of this movie is golf. Can you both talk to just how golf itself is kind of at the heart of this film, and why golf and not any other type of sport?
Yeah, I mean, where I grew up in Austin, there is a public golf course that is leased to the city from the University of Texas, and they did like a 99-year lease. And the lease is either expired or it's about to be, I don't know, but they started this huge campaign to save the course because it's become this beloved place. And we didn't tell that story, but we definitely were inspired by it because I grew up playing there and it was in my neighborhood. And golf is also just kind of funny. It's always had funny clothes, hats, and funny looking sticks. And there's something just inherently funny about golf. And it's so weird because I never would have thought this would have been my first feature. And I love golf. I play golf, but I didn't expect this to happen. And the universe kind of tends to point you in the right direction. And I think sometimes if you just listen to its whispers, you'll go the right way.
I don't know if you had anything to add to that, Adrianne.
No, I mean, listen, I don't personally play golf. I play a little bit of it in the movie, which was hilarious trying to see me like in between takes try to hit the ball.
You did great. You did great. She sunk a very important putt on the second try, which could have
second take.
Which when the sun was going down, and it could have completely it could have gotten dark, and we could have not
derailed the whole thing because that was like the day that there was the most
ruined the whole movie.
Well, I mean, literally the whole movie would have been over.
A lot of pressure.
To bring back everybody the next day to try to get this thing. So
no, but you're right. You're smart to bring it up because if you think about Caddyshack and you think about Happy Gilmore, there is something about the game that people keep coming back to, and now you see Full Swing on Netflix, and there's a bunch of stuff coming. I don't know if you know that Owen Wilson has a golf show. Will Ferrell has a golf show coming. Happy Gilmore 2 is coming out, and this all kind of happened at the same time, which I think is interesting because there is something out there in the ether that makes people want to watch a golf comedy.
You did kind of mention this earlier, but I still want to ask it to both of you. The movie's all about trying to save an establishment that's close to these characters. What is one place in your lives that maybe has been lost over time that you would love to see continue on? you know, but it's been lost to time or is on the verge of being shut down. And you're like, I really don't want that to happen.
Oh, I know mine. It was called the Dry Creek Saloon, and it
Oh,
was just down the road from Mount Bunnell where we shot that scene at the cliff with you taking a picture of everybody. It was just down the road, this old bar that didn't even belong. It was in a neighborhood, like you couldn't even, it wasn't even zoned for booze. And you would go there, it's famous, and you would go there, you'd buy a beer, get a koozie, and go up on the deck, watch the sunset. But it was famous because the old lady who ran the place would scream at you if you didn't bring your bottle, your empties back. And she wouldn't let you buy another beer unless you brought your empties back because she couldn't go up there to clean it.
oh my God. I love that.
And it's gone. And so many places like that are gone. And it's hard. It's really hard to watch your favorite places go away.
It is. Look, Threadgills is a great example of that. And like Austin has been my home for almost 2 decades. And it's the same thing. Like I to this day say if they ever take away Continental Club or Broken Spoke,
We're
I'm
out.
out.
We're out.
I'm out. I'm leaving. Like, cause now like the heart of this city is gone.
Yep.
You cannot do that.
Yep.
So
Now, Adrianne, I have to briefly ask. I don't know if you could have guessed through my background. You know, you were in Shield.
yes.
And I had to ask, you know, over the course of all of these years, has there ever been, you know, talks with Marvel to potentially bring back your character in any form or fashion? Like maybe it didn't pan through, or it still just hasn't happened yet?
Conversation I had when I signed on actually to Agents of Shield was either I was going to be participating in the films or have a spinoff, and we did a spinoff that we shot, which was actually great. But I think it was at the time where ABC was literally getting rid of all their Marvel shows. Like Agent Carter got taken off the air, our show didn't get picked up. Agents of Shield was on the verge of syndication, so it stayed on. But like, yeah, that was a big bummer because I love playing Bobby Morse. I love Mockingbird. So, and the thing that sucks is the show was really good.
Are we
It's
ever
not,
going to see it? It's not out there, right? I don't think I've ever seen it.
no, it's funny the difference between DC and Marvel, right? Like you can see the Wonder Woman pilot I did, but you can never. I don't think they'll ever show the Mockingbird.
You know,
It's. I mean, I had to
it's
go into the
such,
producer's office and sign something to actually watch it.
yeah,
So
it's such a cool character. You did such a good job with it.
thank you.
Now, last question for you guys about this movie, The Salamander King. When audiences, you know, see this movie and walk out of the theater, what do you both hope that they take away from the film they just experienced?
You know, I always go back to like when people leave a theater, I want them to feel like one, they didn't waste their time and money, but two, they had an emotional experience. And whether it's you laughed a lot or you cried or both or whatever it is, or you saw something that was very scary or violent, whatever it is, I just want it to have landed on the audience in an impactful way, enough so that they remember it, they want to talk about it with their friends and tell somebody about it. I mean, it sounds simple, but like I want it to be impactful. I want it to be memorable. And that's really, that's what I want.
And there's something to be said about too. There's not a lot of feel good things out there right now because it does feel like a warm hug. I feel like when you watch it, it's a feel good movie, and there's not a lot of those being made. And so, you know, for people to be able to be positive when they leave a theater and just general, you know what I mean? They're being. I think that's really important. And like that's how I felt on set every day. I didn't want to leave. And I can't tell you the last time I've been in a situation where I'm like, I'm exhausted. I just want to go home. There, I was like, you guys need me for anything else? Or maybe I'll just chill here for a bit. Like it was a fun set to be on. So I really think that that translates, you know, obviously to screen.
Well, again, thank you both for talking to me today. You know, I hope you have a great time at the festival. And yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having us. Appreciate it.
Until next time.
Next time.
Yes.